lunchtime. I'm not sure it's right. It's called afternoon. And I'm just waiting for the stream to show up on the trading view. Morning, my peep. All right. So trading view's live, waiting on the YouTube stream. I can see myself. I can hear myself. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another chart mastery session. A lot has happened since last stream. A lot of targets are hit, and markets are moving in direction that I thought they would. Right. As of Monday, BTC was at 42,550, and as you're getting up here, I said, hey, we're missing the move to 44,76. Right. As this was incomplete. We saw this move come up. We saw the initial rejection, which is classic BTC. And more interestingly, I did tweet about this yesterday. Opened a short and it just got stopped out at entry, and I'm a little disappointed in my stop. Just didn't want to get wrecked on a short. Should have moved the wider stop. The reason being was seeing the secondary 61.8 rejection, and then we saw it once again a third time. Before I dive in too deep, I'm going to cover BTC, I'm going to cover Ether, I'm going to cover SPY, QQQ. I'll get asked about Fordmatic, and we were talking about USO today, so I'm going to cover those. And Ford and Matic are from last stream. And afterwards, you guys show me some tickers. Let me know what tickers you'd like me to cover. And say hi in the chat. Let me know who's in. I love hearing from you guys. I love seeing who's in the chat. Oh. All right, so back to BTC, right? It's going up, right? Is this a bullish move? We don't know yet, right? I think we'll know if this is truly bullish price action if we do get that close above 44.76, right? Until then, is it a bull trap? Maybe. Is it a relief rally? Possibly. And yeah, if you like, there was a lot of those order block traders that piled in at like 44, right where we are right now, 44,447, right? Based on that last resistance. But then we had that wick above the 61.8, which is expected. So now I really want to see a retest of 44.76, and that's where I want to try to snag a short, right? And the reason being is just in case this is a bearish 61.8, just like what we saw up here. You guys see how price is retracing back to the red line. So just like what happened over here, it was a bearish 61.8 move off the swing high to the swing low, hiding behind my face. There you go. That's fixed. So that's the move I'm looking out for on BTC. Just basically a retest of previous highs of yesterday's high, and if we get rejection there, I would say flip short and yeah, take it down, write it down. Looking at ETH, has it broken the 61.8? Well, as of last stream, right, we had that resistance line. It is trading above resistance, which is linear resistance, right, diagonal resistance, whatever you want to call it, which is good. Didn't quite ring my alert level. I had my alert level right above the 61.8, objected right at it at 32.35. So that's pretty much expected, right? And we saw a pullback to the 50, and now we're seeing an attempted continuation move up, and I do think we will re-ring that level. If we close above, then I would say this is bullish, do not short, and we're looking for a larger retracement. I'd put the next target at 3,800. Right, assuming we get a breakout above yesterday's highs. But if you do get rejection there, then this was nothing other than like a bull trap or it's a bearish 61.8 retracement type move. You guys, let me know. Drop me some comments. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know who's watching. That's what I got for BTC and Ether. I'm going to cover SPY and QQQ. I nailed the play on the SPY this week, right? And we played some weeklies. I think we got in on Monday. We took some profits today. And it was pretty good, like 80% weekly trade. And did say take some profit this morning. Lock in those UPRO calls, right? We played this via UPRO, which is the 3x leverage ETF. It was the cheapest one, so it gives us like the best positioning on a 3x leverage, 3x 100x leverage, right? Because we're trading options, and options are basically 100x leverage, and 3x because it's a 3x ETF. Anyway, so we had $65 UPRO calls. Reason being was taking this trade back to 457 on the SPY, which is the 61.8. I would expect 467. That's just what the SPY likes to do. If we reject here, then that would be fairly bearish. And if we reject here, then I expect to see downwards price action from BTC and crypto and stocks, and just like more selling, right? More risk off, more people going to cash. And this could rage out for another week, right? And the reason we played this is, saw a possible 61.8 happening this week, and we did play some 2 weeks out tech calls. So we played the QQQ, and let's look at UPRO. Just kind of highlight the play, right? So we got in at like 63, got out at 66. We were $1 in the money, right? We're going for 65 calls. And that played out beautiful. Target was 66.50. Smashed it. Take profit, guys. Take profit on those UPROs. All right. Looking at the QQQ next. The NASDAQ tech. I still think we're heading to 378, right? I do think we're gonna probably get a little bit more of a rally in attack, more of that cat. At least, for now. It did break the trend line today. It's kind of retesting it. Depends how we draw it, right? I'm not a big trend line trader. I'd much rather trade fibs. And, right, so we're kind of breaking out. We might get a retest at 361. Now, if QQQ, let's say, closes below 361, I would be eager to scale out of the calls, because I do have a pretty big call position for tech, betting that we're going to 378, right? We're playing this via TQQQ. All right, let me cover Matic forward, and then oil looks like it's setting up for a good short, and then I'll take any requests you guys have. Talked about Matic last stream, and I think I looked at the daily. And I did say there was a little bit of a day trade, intraday type trade to take, based on what we saw in price action. Right, so if we pull back to 13.9, you probably want to take it to, is that right? Is it Matic? That's the wrong chart. It doesn't look right, because I took the trade. I'm like, this looks nothing like what it just did. There we go. All right, I said we're probably going to get a bounce off the 51.88 and take it to $2. Now, when I said that, the chart was still back here, so it played out a little later after the initial rejection at $2. Now that we're seeing a second rejection at the 61.8, right, at this point, I would want to at least hedge that position, right? Hedge that position, because if this was a bearish 61.8, then we're likely just going to pull back down, right? It's going to be a bearish continuation. Now, getting a close above 2.1 on the daily would be really nice, and we'd see continuation out of this setup. But until then, assume continuation until otherwise. We got the first rejection. In terms of the hourly, is it like a cascading 61.8? Not quite. It's holding on the smaller 61.8, right? So this is interesting. Seeing a push here would be really good. Would put the next target at like 2.2, maybe 2.4. And ultimately, the larger bearish 61.8 would be like 2.3, right? So 2.2 to 2.3 if we get continuation off Matic here. I was asked about forward last stream. I said it's at a bullish 61.8 retrace. and it looks bullish, right? Like this is a quote unquote bullish selling, or we're probably going to see a bounce, and we're seeing just that, right? What I did is I drew a retracement fib just based off these last two swing lows, and swing low, swing high, right? In 1750 it was a 61.8. We saw some good bullish action. So at this point I'd want to see at least a retest to 19, maybe a close above 1920, and some progression out of this chart. Not getting any comments from you guys. Smash that like button if you're not gonna comment. What's up? All right, looking at oil, I wanted to cover that one. USO seeing reason to kind of start maybe thinking about shorting, right? Let's look at the larger retracement. I'm not a big fan of it just because this move was so dramatic. But I mean, that's what we have to go off of. Other than that, we can just look at the top. I think like 61.85 should be a good retest in terms of fibs, in terms of like a swing target. The daily is starting to like pull back a little bit, right? You've seen 64.5 as the 61.8. It's actually like a little lower than that. Let me just fix this. So at this point, I want to look for a little bit of an oil short position. Maybe get 64.4 again. And I trade this like $64 puts, and a few weeks out, just let it kind of sell off, taper off. Barris, looking at LTC for you. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get this hyped up. All right, Litecoin's looking decent, man. It's looking that like it's just eyeballing it. This is above a 61.8. Definitely above a 61.8. And not only that, we got a bounce, clean bounce off of it, right? It held the support, so like 129. At this point, I'm going to look at the smaller retracement, right? And if we get a bounce off 138.24, if you don't have a long, I'd probably want to try to get a long here. For maybe a breakout trade. I've done pretty well with Litecoin breakout trades. I did stop trading it after like some of these moves and kind of gave it a break and focus on other things because they were swinging a lot better and I just trade them better. And one of those being Luna, right? Link. A few things about this. This is looking decent, man. It's looking good, Paris. I would definitely like move stops to 136. Right, this is looking like it's starting to channel. It's actually looking like a breakout retest. I'd look out for 138.24 for like a nice wick if you get some kind of downward action. Yo, Brian Mack on the tube. Can I look at CRV? I will look at CRV for you. Thank you for shilling me a ticker. CRV. You're gonna look at the USD tether chart on Nance, on the Nancy. Looking at Nancy charts, not Pelosi. Don't get us canceled. All right, so this looks like the classic like extension type chart. Man, screenshot this chart, dude. Brian Braymack. Screenshot this. I mean, it's got support resistance highlighted. All right, so what I would look out for here on CRV, possibly another continuation up, right? I don't think it's complete until it hits 4.31. So ideally, you want to see this channel kind of continue up, get above 3.94. That would be like T1. This would be T2. If it does get support here at 4.15, then we're looking for a larger retracement move to $5, right? That's how I would look at this, as level by level, just kind of like trail stops up and watch out for these. That's how I would look at it. Paris, you're welcome. All right, what else do we have? You guys want to show me some more tickers? You covered a lot of tickers in just 15 minutes. And you guys keep me busy for a little longer. Usually I dedicate at least an hour for these streams, but if you can't keep me busy for 30, I'm just going to call it a day, right? What else are you going to look at? I'm going to look at some stocks behind me, look at some charts behind me, and I'll turn back around, just see what I'd like to cover. All right, I got a few ideas, a few things to cover. I'll look at Disney for you. I'm going to cover LICY, Licky, whatever you want to call it. It's a new play that I opened yesterday, and it's an EV play, but it's different. So Disney, it's looking like Netflix. Now they got earnings today, man. It can go either way. Earnings have been nuts, right? February 9th, that's today. Earnings have been crazy, right? You look at things like Google on earnings, right? Had a huge up move. Like Google's earnings was right here, right? And it gapped up like 10% in aftermarket, right? And then it sold off the next day. And we can look at Facebook, and it got decimated on earnings, right? Same thing with PayPal, right? Actually, it wasn't PayPal's earnings; it was their guidance that screwed them. They had like negative forward guidance. So, looking at something like Disney, didn't mean to go off track. I think it's a 50-50. I think in terms of like a buy and hold, it's good. I don't see an options trade, not yet. Let me look at this chart more objectively. Let me extend this range and see what we got. Just looking for like long-term supports, right? Things that are like, they should be unshakable. Nothing's really unshakable in this market, right? But it looks like 141 should hold us support, right? And just based off that, our 61.8 is 148. And what is this doing? Is this faking out bulls? Not quite, right? So this got some room. It's got room to hit 148. I think if it closes above, we can see it pop off. You can see a larger 61.8 retracement. You could possibly see something like Google. It just depends on what earnings have done. I've not kept up with the chart. 174 would be like, if this pops off to 174, I'd probably trim off some profits and then wait. That would be my play. Thanks, Braymac. Have a good day at work, man. He's back to so Li-Cycle Holdings Corp. It's a Canadian company that I bought some calls for yesterday. This is one of the very few EV battery recycling firms that's publicly traded, right? And I like this chart. It's definitely below IPO level, right? At IPO to like $7 is right, but it's right at $8. $7.75. It did dip down to $6. It wasn't on my radar until like this week. I was watching like documentaries over the weekend about like recycling and e-waste and stuff, and I was like, hey, like, with EV coming out, there's gonna be a lot of waste with innovation, and I need to make some bets here. And to me, that close above 690, and then this move here is good. If this stays above 783, that would be my stop on my calls. And I posted the calls in Discord, guys. So hop in Discord, click on stonks. It was probably the only thing I posted today. It's more of a medium long term. I want to get leap positions. All right, what else? Let's look at Luna. I know I'm hopping between stocks and crypto. Well, Luna's another like crowd favorite, and I did tweet that I was going 100x long on the loon, right? I tweeted this, and that play is playing out, and it's actually doing pretty good. So one thing I did was using these fibs, right? And we just got to get above $60, right? Once you get above $60 and close above 60.08, I think you can see a larger move. Now we did have a T1. I did post a T1 in Discord, right? I think that $60 mark. And nope. The T1 was right at $60, right? So there's two fibs overlaying, acting as resistance. So that was T1. Took like half profit on the leveraged long, and now I'm just kind of letting it do its thing. So once we get above 60, then I think we can continue up. It's going to come down to what majors are doing, what BTC does. If we get a close above 44, 47, right, and a close above the previous high, and if we do, then it's good, and if we don't, take precautions, guys. Like, this thing could be getting toppy, right? 44, 822 could be toppy, especially if indices keep dumping, right? So this is going to be a risk on versus risk off. Are we corrective, or are we still bullish? So these are the levels that we want to pay attention to, and once they break, they break, and if they don't, they don't. And just so like show you guys an example of why I'm saying this. We look at all of 2018. It was basically just a series of these bearish retracements, from one swing high to the following. It was just 61.8s, right? This one was a 50. This first one was a 50% retrace, but the following, right? That's another 50. That was a 50%, right? And then here, this is where it started again, 61.8s, right? So this was a bearish retrace. We had initial bounce off the 61, and then second rejection. And then once again, initial bounce, second rejection, right? So you can see how like price action is rejecting at the red line, rejecting at the red line. This next one was also 61.8. And then we had the final shakeout, right? Boom. So just pay attention to something like this, right? We had a 61.8 here, and now we're seeing a 61.8 back towards it. So that's why I'm saying, it could be getting toppy, and if it is toppy, this is why I think it can be close. Hey, what's up, bullish charts, trading view? Pretty much covered everything I wanted to. You got any chart requests for me? Anybody get? I know, man. I got a new haircut. So I had the beard, right? And I was going for a mustache, and then I shanked the mustache, and then I couldn't do it, couldn't have like a Hitler stash or a half stash or a messed up stash. So I had to rebalance it all, starting over from scratch. Thank you. Thanks, Derlin Dog. All right, do you guys want me to cover anything else? Any other charts? Any other assets? I think this trend line broke, but I mean, I'm not a trend line trader, right? So pay attention to these 61.8s. They're just cascading, basically. It's like what we saw back here. I'm going to put them side by side, actually. If SPY breaks, right, I think we can get continuation. We can get even a larger 61.8 retrace. This can be a part of a bigger move. 1 second. Give me the daily. Right, so we just don't want to end up in one of these situations where we're seeing these relief rallies, right, and just letting them slip, right, just getting complacent. We don't want to get complacent on relief rallies. We at least want to take precautions, right? You want to be precautionary here. No, man, Fib Power is beyond the beard, beyond the mustache. I think that's permanent, man. Fib Power is some permanent brain damage. Can't get it out. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for the laughs, Derlin Dog. Thanks for the ticker request. If you guys don't have any other requests, I'm gonna look at me one more time. If I can't pick out anything else I want to highlight, I'm probably gonna call it a stream, and I'll be back on Friday. So you just sec. Look at SPY moving. SPY's on the high. Ford's looking good. Ooh, we got some moves out of cannabis. Let's look at some cannabis stocks. Tilray's up like 10% today, and I do have some shit ton of calls spread out on it. Is it time to play the putts, right? Are you gonna get? Is this a bear 61.8? What does Fit Power say? Oh my goodness, it's right at it, 6.84, right? So if we don't get continuation here, we might want to. I don't know if I want to short this thing. It's so weak. This structure. I don't know if you can go like sub post IPO lows. Like if you can go below $2, that would be impressive. That'd be very impressive. In terms of like what bears can do. Yeah, like how do you even extend it? It's hard to like figure out these plays. Now you can get some like old short entries, right? Extension moves, but I can't get a bottom on this. You're gonna have to go through like the price action back here. So you want to see like 465 close above. I wouldn't be like so hyped up on cannabis right now, unless like there's just a piece of legislation we don't know about. Now back when we did pile into cannabis and made it heaps off Tilray, structure was telling me that it looked really bottomy, right? We were kind of down here in late 2020, September 2020, and I'm like, hey guys, this is gonna turn. So I don't know if they're just gonna do a touch and go, and if they did, that'd be nice, and we can run back up. And if not, then I'd wait a little bit. I think that's about it. You guys don't have any chart requests. I'm gonna wrap up the stream. Make sure to hop into Discord, follow us on Twitter. I've been tweeting a lot of cool things, a lot of cool charts, some of my entries, some of my trades, like that Luna 100x long and the BTC like take precautions chart and stuff. My LICY. So follow us on the social medias. Hop in a Discord, and I'm there Monday through Sunday, almost 24 hours, unless I'm not doing something. So. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Catch you on Friday, same time, same place. Trade safe.